My mission for my training program is to try to make every horse as good as they can be. I've trained world champion horses, and it's fun. It's nice to be at that level. But there's a lot of horses that get bypassed and skipped over and never attain their potential because they're just not at that level. So you see me riding Mustangs and Arabians and quarter horses and paints and walking horses and all different kinds of breeds and types and levels of ability, and I want to try to get every horse that's sent to me to be the best they can be. Some horses will end up better than others. That's part of it. What I have learned in training those higher level horses, that's the training program that I put together for the rest of these horses. If you want to talk to me about sending a horse to me for training, whatever breed it is, send me a message and we'll talk about it. Okay. This is Ray. She is back for a tune-up. I had her in training, I don't know, a year and a half, maybe 2 years. Trained her for working cow horse, showed her in working cow horse, won some money on her. So she's a finished bridle horse. But she come back for a tune-up because there's a few things I need to work on. The main two things is the owner is having trouble with her lope departures. She's loping off in the incorrect lead, and she's having trouble with her lead changes, which are both part of the same issue. It has to do with her being resistant moving her hip. And what's happening is that you put your leg back to ask Ray to move her hip over, and she's wanting to lope right off without pushing her hip over. So when that happens, because of the resistance into the leg, that makes her pick up the incorrect lead. So that's what I'm gonna be working today, and we'll see how it goes. I just got on her, walk her a couple circles. When I had her originally, it was her 2 and 3 year old year, and she was a pretty good handful, maybe 3 and 4 year old year, I don't remember, but she was a pretty good handful then. Now I think she is 6 now, and pretty settled down, mature horse, but she still has a big motor. She's still a lot of horse. I have a lot of videos of her on YouTube of the full training progression from the beginning all the way through showing her. So let's start by walking this circle. I'm gonna walk a little bit bigger circle than what you typically see me walk. Take a hold of her face, and I'm gonna put my right leg back to push her hip over to the left, and let's see what happens. Notice right away she didn't maintain her rhythm, and we got a little bit there. She didn't maintain her rhythm, and when she got back in rhythm, I released. There was some things that weren't good. When I put leg on, she didn't push it over right away. She pushed into it at first, and then the leg went. And then the other part of that is her shoulder went too much that way. I want it to go the opposite way, but she pushed the shoulder as part of pushing the hip. I just put a video on Patreon working Nick with the lead change, and his issue was when I put outside leg back, his shoulder would go the same direction as the hip. Her issue, when I put outside leg back, she's pushing with the whole side of her body, pushing the hip into the leg and pushing the shoulder into the leg. I want to thank everybody for supporting me on Patreon. That's where I usually post some of the more detailed training videos. There's 3 levels, $5, $25, $75. $5 level, you get access to all those detailed training videos. $25 level, you get access to all the videos, plus you get 20% discount on video lessons, and you're entered for a drawing for a giveaway that I do once a month. $75 level, you get all of that, plus you get a free video lesson a month. I'll get thousands of questions a day. There's no way I can answer them all, but I answer Patreon questions every day. Patreon, Tim Anderson Horse Training. I appreciate everybody for supporting me there. We'll walk around, we'll do it again. Outside leg back. Maintain forward. I want her head to go to the left. Maintain my track. See how that shoulder's pushing out to the right? I'm going to use my right rein to kind of bring that shoulder in alignment. Walk forward, forward, there, and release. That was nice hip going over and shoulder tracking forward. I want the shoulders to continue going forward. And you see, she knows what I'm asking for. I just held it until she got in the position I'm looking for, then I released the cue, released my leg. So if you have any questions about what I'm doing here, put it in the comments below and I'll see if I can answer your question. And if you're finding what I'm doing helpful, if you would click the like button, and that will help YouTube know to send the videos out to other people. Now let's do it again, outside leg back. A little bit of right rein to block that shoulder. Shoulder maintained forward. A little bit of left rein to tilt the head to the right. Hip, 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 and release. Good girl. And I need to be able to get that, and when she's in the correct position, smooch and lope off, and that's my lope departure. But I need to be able to get that movement like right away to get my lead changes, because that took, I don't know what, 6 or 8 strides to get the correct position. Well, if we're showing a reining pattern and we're coming through the middle, and it takes 6 strides for her to get in the correct position, well, we've already traveled across the arena. Then she's thinking about going the other way, and it's not going to happen. I have to have that body frame within a stride or 2 of the most of putting that leg on. And you can see just walking around, this is a pretty nice trained horse. I got her on the loose rein. She's self-carrying her head, neck. This is where she wants to be. This is where she's fit. This is where she's comfortable. Now she got distracted and looked over there. Point her head back. Refocus her over here. Get back soft again. Let's go outside leg back again. See that kind of quick step? That was a little bit of resistance when it made contact. Shoulders tracking to the outside, a little bit of right rein. Track the shoulder forward with using my right rein, but using left rein and a little bit of left leg to tip her nose to the left. A little more hip, and release. It was better last time, but I was reaching the end. Let's go the other direction. This is a really nice horse, really cowy, really fun to ride on a cow. A lot of go, big motor. Even though she's small, I haven't seen a cow yet she couldn't outrun. In the live that I put out on Thursday, I got the question about horses easy to start or not easy to start, and what horses easier or what was harder. She was a pretty hard horse to train because she's gritty. She wants to work. She'll pick a fight. She don't mind fighting, and that made her training harder. But in the end, that made her a better horse in the end. And I talked about in the live about just because a horse is harder to train, sometimes that means in the end they're going to be a better horse. Now we're going to go outside leg, be left leg back. See how her head come up? She got stiff. I'm going to hold it. Keep holding. Walk forward, a little bit of right leg, go forward. I want her to relax. Track forward, a little bit of right leg, get some bend. A little bit of left leg, push her hip over. Push her hip over. See how her shoulder's poking out to the right there? Use my left rein to block it. Forward. See how I'm holding that left pressure. I'm gradually building, but it's very slow. A little bit of right leg up by the girth. Push the shoulders out. Push the shoulders out. Push the shoulders out. See, she's wanting me to release that left leg, and I'm not going to release it until she gives me what I'm asking for. I think possibly, and release. I think possibly her owner doesn't use her left leg a lot or very well, which is really common for right-handed people. That's pretty normal. It's not a big deal. I just have to retone that up. If you live up north in one of the colder environments, we're in the south. Our winters are usually pretty mild, highs in the 70s, lows in the 40s. If you'd like to send your horse down so I can keep it conditioned over the winter so you'll be ready to show when it comes back in the spring, or if you have one you'd like to get started, it's a great time of the year to start them, and then in the springtime we'll send it back home and you'll be able to continue. You notice I'm walking a good bit in between asking her so that I kind of de-escalate her wanting to push, be resistant. Left leg back again. A little bit of right leg, maintain forward. A little bit of left rein to block the shoulder from going left. A little bit of right leg, get some bend. I added a little bit more left leg to get more hip movement, and she got kind of resistant. And release. Wasn't great, but I felt the hip go that way a little bit, and she maintained walking. At the same time, I added a little bit more pressure with my left leg. So that's what I'm working on with Ray. It's going to take a lot of this slow work, a lot of repetition, and a lot of just releasing when she gives me what I want and not releasing when she don't give me what I want. Just lots of slow repetition. So it's Ray. I'll put a link up here to her playlist on YouTube. Until next time, thank you for watching. If you have a friend that you think needs to watch this video, share it with them. Let them see what I'm doing and might help more people.